Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Anne from Thrift to Resell. I am an online reseller with eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and sometimes Whatnot. And I have a vintage booth as well that I sell items here locally. I have been on eBay for about the past 20 years, and recently, this past April, decided that I was going to try and be a more online seller. I've bought on there over the years and sold some items on there over the years, but I've really tried to take the opportunity the last several months to kind of be more than just dabble in it and just really try to make it more of a side hustle, more or less. But anyways, I thought I would share with you all my miserable, terrible, abysmal, awful, need I say more, sales the last couple of days here at the end of the quarter and the end of the year. I hope everyone has had a great holiday. I think that's probably part of why I am not having the best sales currently. I have not been focusing on my platforms at all, and I think that really makes a big difference. But anyways, here's my lovely sales. There's only been a few, so this video probably won't take very long. I sold one item on Mercari. For those of you who don't know, I just started selling on Mercari, I think this past October. And since I think it's about the middle of October until the end of the year, I've sold 10 items. Most recently, it was this Nike golf pullover. One thing great about Mercari, I sold that for $16, and that's what I get, $16. The buyer pays all the fees and shipping costs included, and the seller gets exactly what the price sold for. That is going to be changing from what I understand here January 6th. Looks like Mercari is going to be raising their fees, which that's fine. It doesn't look like it's anything crazy, and it's pretty fair, I feel. It's going to be, the sellers will be paying 10% of the sale price, so a 10% fee, and then it looks like the buyer is going to have a flat rate fee of, I think it's 3.6. And so I'll be interested to see how that goes. Mercari is not one of my higher selling platforms. It's doing fine, for what the effort I've been putting into it. I have noticed that my sale prices are lower there. But overall, I'm pretty okay with how Mercari has been going. Then my next sale was on Poshmark, surprises me. I am not a big participant in Poshmark, and you really do need to be actively involved. I think coming up here in the new year that I will take more of an initiative on there, and that will be some information coming in another video here after the new year. I'm still having a discussion with my husband and seeing how we are going to handle this new side hustle that we are kind of doing more part-time, on a more part-time basis, because we both do work full-time. And so to do that, especially with Poshmark, it likes you to be social, and it wants you to interact, and it wants you to, have parties, have a posh party, and that's just not my personality. So I'm just looking at other ways that maybe will benefit me there, because I do make sales there. When I do, they're pretty decent. But I sold one of my ugly sweaters. Yay! Another ugly Christmas sweater. Sold for $18. I didn't get the best of review on that one. I think I must have missed something on there. I thought it's cutest. It's so cute, and I loved it. But I think I must have had a hole I missed or something. But they would have returned it, but they needed it. And so I just credited them on that. And so that's unfortunate, but it's one of those things where, if you've seen some of my previous videos, I put up a bunch of Christmas sweaters later, too late, like after Thanksgiving. And so out of the, I think 7 or 8 that I had, I believe I sold 4 or 5. I only have I believe 2 left. And so they went really quickly, and I got them at the bins. And if you're not familiar with the bins, it's the Goodwill outlet. They have these great big blue bins, and they pile everything in there, and you're digging through it, and they charge you by weight. And so I believe those sweaters, with everything I had collected that time with my husband, Jeff, we expected that to be about 50 cents an item overall, if if we count everything that we had got at that time. So I figured them to be about 50 cents to $1 tops. And so selling it at $18, and then with the Poshmark fees, which are, a little bit high, I think I'd be like $14 overall. And that's fine. It's okay. And then eBay's still the best seller for me, best platform for me to sell on. Still have not did a bunch of sales on there. And like I said, I'm not participating right now. I am on Christmas break or winter break. I work for the school district, and so we're on a winter break, and I have been winter breaking, really, really relaxing. And so the sales that I did get, I think have just been overall fine. Sold a pair of ciders, new with tags, women's plus size, which I highly recommend getting plus size items. They just seem to sell the best, and that they are really one of my higher sell rates on items. But anyways, ciders new with tags, women's plus size, wide leg dress pant. And I sold those. They only sold for $15, which is fine because I don't believe that brand is very good in overall. And I had them, I think, priced too high at $25. I was hoping to get probably, around 19 to 20 for them. And I'm just moving the inventory at that point. I was like, let's make some sales. And so I did sell those for $15. Plus with the shipping fees being as high as they are, USPS has raised the rates during the holiday season. And with that, I thought, let me give some of my customers a little bit of a deal. I did get those on Whatnot. I was just buying on Whatnot, and I believe I purchased those for $1. And so that was fine. Also sold a pair of shoes. I think I've stated before in previous videos that I am trying not to pick up that many shoes. They just take forever to sell. These ones I've had since probably, I had these listed in May. They're Vince Camuto Gradina leather booty. And they sold for $27.95. I did take a best offer on those. Also sold one of my holiday sweaters. Love my ugly sweaters. This sweater sold for $21.95. So again, that is that sell-through rate where it cost me 50 cents to $1, and happy to let that go. Those sweaters went really quickly. Next year, I'm definitely going to start right after Halloween. I mean, probably just before Halloween. And then I bet they would all sell fairly quickly at that point, for sure. Mine was definitely all timing. The other thing I picked up was these weightlifting shoes my husband found at a Goodwill store. The Automox shoes, they are actually unisex. I mean, men's size 7, women's 8.5. They're a weightlifting, bodybuilding type shoe. Those I thought would sell for higher. I had them listed fairly high. They sold for $30, but I think he only paid $2 for them, but they were like in pristine, like new condition. And, but those were an interesting pickup. They sold, I believe within, they sold within 2 months of listing, which I think that's great. That was a good one. I would pick up that again for sure. Next thing was an Alphany men's dress shirt. I knew when we picked these up at the bins, we got several of them actually, and this is the first of the like 6 of them that I got. I got some in several of the same color. It looks like they were from like a wedding or something, but it's the great size thing about this was the size. They are a double XL men's, and I think that makes a big difference, but it only sold for $10. I had it listed right around 19 because I know it's like a Kohl's brand, I believe, which is fine. But it looked good. It was a bigger size. Once again, got it at the bins. Maybe cost me 50 cents to $1. And so you can see my sales are kind of abysmal. Not high sell-through rates this time around, unfortunately. And then I sold one more Christmas sweater. I actually wore this for a little bit to a Christmas party and washed it again and then put it back in my inventory. I actually love this one a lot. I thought about keeping it, but it was a little bit big. And so unfortunately, it sold for $17. I got an offer on that. And I had that listed the same, right around $19. And so I was happy to take that $17. That works out pretty well. And then one other pair of shoes. I picked these shoes up at the Goodwill store, our local Goodwill store here, and I paid $3.50 for them. I just thought they were neat looking, and I was looking at them for myself, but then I realized, oh, these are not for women. I had to actually research them. They are Zara's natural fabric spriadils. I don't even know how you say it. I like these kind of shoes for myself, but they're men's shoes. I had my husband actually try them on because I wasn't certain on the size because it's was European size 44, but that comes out to the US size of a 10.5. And they were really nice. I mean, they look like they haven't even been worn, but they sold within 3 days of listing. And on Zara's site, when I looked them up, they only sold for $39.90, and I sold them for $28. And so I'm pleased with that turnaround, especially because it was shoes, and I said I wasn't going to pick them up anymore, but I did. But that's it. Like, that's all I've sold, and I'm okay with it. It's fine because I have high goals coming up here in 2025. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really, really excited about it. And I hope that you join me again here soon. So you know what the plan is, what my New Year's resolution is. And I mean, I guess it's kind of a New Year's resolution, but I have high expectations for 2025. My husband and I have come to a decision on what we are going to do with this side hustle that we are doing. And we hope that you will follow along with us. But I hope that you all had a great holiday. I hope 2024 was fabulous. But now we can all move on to 2025. And that sounds like it's always exciting to start a new year. But anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. And we'll chat again soon.